Okay, everybody, you are in for a treat today. I am actually going to drop two podcast episodes in the same day just because I'm so excited to be back. It's been a really great summer. And of course, because of a great summer, I dropped off a little bit. I did not podcast for quite some time now. The end of July was the last time that I podcast. And as a treat for you and my love to you, I am going to drop two. I just finished one that's called Is Your Ego Holding You Back? Please go check it out if you have not already. It was a great episode. Talked a little bit about the things that have been going on this summer, but also then talked about if your ego is holding you back. So yes, go check that out. But now I'm going to bring you another one. So welcome to this week's episode of Tough Coffee Shop Talk. I'm your host, Rhonda Lavoie. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Each week, I meet with members from Tough Collaborative to chat about varying topics. And each week, you can join me here as I review the topic of the week. We have a wide range of topics discussing anything from business building tips to personal development ideas. And the best part is I feel these topics can touch anybody, no matter what their adventure is in life. If you're self-employed, you're an entrepreneur, work in corporation, stay-at-home parent, retired, or in between jobs, I think there's just a little bit for everyone. So I want to dive into this topic of the week. The topic is, do these 5 things to finish 2024 strong. In the past years, I have struggled this time of year. It's often when things slow down. So then emotionally I struggle. I start to panic. I get down, worried, fearful about things in real estate and my business and where money's going to come from and all of those things. And in recent years, I've gotten that a bit under control simply because I identified that, that's going to happen. So I can ensure I've gotten back on track faster, snapped out of it, so to say. But this year I had a new realization. A couple of months ago, I was talking with another agent. We bumped into each other while we were at a listing. They had finished showing up with their clients, and I was just waiting for my client to arrive. So we were just chatting about a few different things. And this agent mentioned how they were slow this time of year. And this was like in August or end of July, maybe. And that she really needed things to, have months like they did in January and February. And I was really confused. I was like, you want months to be slow, more slow months? You see, these are traditionally my slow months, January and February. And I was curious what this person meant. Like, what do you mean you want more months like January, February? And they explained that those months are when they're the busiest and typically have their best months. And my mind was blown. I'm like, what? How? Like, I realized, though, then that I assumed the slowdown of fall into winter was out of my control, that I couldn't make it any better. And then I realized that I was having such a limiting belief. That because I just assumed things slow down in winter, and they do. We do have less sales in the fall and in the winter. But I just assumed that meant I had to have a slower fall and a slower winter, and that I couldn't make any changes or I couldn't do anything to make changes to make that better. So how do I plan to make it better? Well, I came up with these 5 steps, and I think they're universal for so many people. So yeah, let's take a look. Step 1, complete a goal audit. What is a goal audit? Well, you reflect on the goals you set previously, you assess your progress, and then you adjust and realign. Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward, but let's talk about that a little more. So first off, what goals did you set this year? So many of you know, I'm a goal setter. I like to strive for new things, and I like to look to the future to see, what can I create? So I do set goals. I encourage everyone around me to also set goals. I work with them to determine, how to set goals, how to set realistic goals, all of those things. And there's been previous podcasts about this, so you can go back to listen to those to hear what I had to say about those. But the important part about goals, one of the many important parts of goals, is revisiting them. So now's a really great time to look at the goals that you'd set. So what goals did you set at the beginning of the year or in the last quarter or, halfway through the year, whatever that is? Are you on track? Did you fall off? Were they even the right goals? So now that we're further through the year and you look back and you reflect on, maybe you set these goals in December last year. When you reflect back on them, were they even the right goals? Is there something that took you off course? And if so, did it add value? And I'll give you a really good example from my life. So I started Tough Collaborative formally in April of this year. Was not on my radar when I set my goals. I did not have a goal in December when I was setting my goals for 2024 to create a membership. I'm very fortunate. It just became that. To give you a bit of the backstory on how Tough Collaborative happened, in late 2023, I was surrounding myself with very wonderful people within my industry because I was trying to create my success squad, and how, if I surround myself with people that were like-minded and that would push me, I would, of course, grow. That was one of my goals. One of my goals was to surround myself with wonderful people and to have these people help empower me to become a better person. But I did not have this goal of creating a membership. So I've been meeting with these people. We go to a coffee shop. That's how this podcast created, Tough Coffee Shop Talk. And we outgrew our location. So we were getting to have 10 people there a week, which was becoming a little bit disruptive to the coffee shop. So we decided that we needed to find a new location. When I found a new location, there was a cost that associated with that. It's a great location. It's perfect for what we need, but of course it's going to cost me a little bit more money. So I decided to convert these coffee meetings into something a little bit more formal called Tough Collaborative. And we meet at a coffee shop every week to discuss the different topics. And that's why this podcast has been created. But that wasn't my goal. So when I do my goal audit, I look at that and go, okay, that wasn't my goal. I totally went off course, but it added value. But I will say that anytime you go off course, something takes a hit. So if I look at my real estate company and the business that I did there and the transactions I did there, I can see a negative effect to my revenues because my focus was pulled somewhere else. Do I regret that focus? Absolutely not. I loved my Tough Collaborative and Tough Coffee Shop Shop. Like, that's absolutely a part of my life, and I'm so grateful that I was able to create that, and I'm so grateful that I have it. But I do see the negative effect it had on my real estate company. So I just need to be aware of that and know that now that my business, the Tough Collaborative, has taken off a little bit and I've kind of streamlined things and I've gotten things into place, that negative effect on my real estate company should be less now. So did it add value? Did something take you off course? Was it okay that it took you off course? Did you have the right goals? All of these are your questions you'll ask yourself when you do your goal audit. And then you're going to adjust and realign. So has your definition of success or achievement changed through the year? So at the beginning of the year, you would have had this picture of what you wanted to accomplish by the end of the year. And now when you're 3 quarters through the year, what does that look like? Has anything changed? Do you need to realign? And how are you really? Not just the customary, I'm fine, But how are you really? Physically, how do you feel? Emotionally, what is your state? Mentally, what challenges and blocks do you have? And how can you adjust your goals to align? Don't wait to the end of the year to redo your goals. Start now to adjust the ones that you have. By not waiting until the end of the year, because at the end of the year is typically when we do the New Year's resolutions. If you start now and you make these tiny little habits, it'll be a lot easier for you to achieve the goals that you had already previously set. So it's like a readjustment. So one of the other 5 things to do to finish the year strong is to revisit your ideal week. Kids have been back in school for about a month now. And this is a really great time to revisit your schedule, your time structure, your routine, your rhythm, and define your ideal week. And to do that, I suggest you just visualize your ideal week. What time of day do you do your best work? Is it the morning, evening, midday, middle of the night? What is the best time for you to do your best work? Then look at what day of the week do you do your best work? For me, it's mornings, no doubt. I'm awake. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on purpose because I like to start my day with a little bit of peace without everybody up. And from 6 until 7, I do my morning routine. And then from about 7:30, 7:45 until probably 10 is when I am the most productive in my company because I have some quiet time, I'm fresh, I'm focused. And then if I look at what day of the week, hands down Mondays. Mondays are the day that I can bang out the most work, achieve the most, especially when it comes to desk work. So submitting my files, getting caught up on things, following up with clients, all of those things. Monday mornings, hands down, best time of the week for me. But what is it for you? That's what it works for me, but what works best for you? Look at those two things individually and then put them together to create the time pocket in your ideal week to achieve the most. And then what work can be best put in that time to get your best value? And is it possible to move things around to ensure you get that best value? So for example, I do not book meetings Monday mornings, like phone calls, in-person meetings, any of those things. Monday mornings are basically off limits because I know that in that morning, say even a 4-hour period, the amount of work that I can get done, the work that can only be done at my desk, is possible within those 4 hours if I focus and do it. But if I pull away from that and don't do that Monday mornings, then it frankly probably doesn't get done until the following Monday, which is a true disservice to my clients and to myself because now I'm behind. And just by identifying that is ensuring that I'm creating more of an ideal week. Another example is Thursdays is when I do my coffee shop talks. So I'm already in the city, I'm already having coffee. So I will stack my in-person meetings after that. I'll just go from one meeting to the next because I'm already in that mindset. I'm already out and about. I might get a little bit over caffeinated on Thursdays, but it's a great day for me to be able to do those things because I've already got that planned out, that feel, all of those things together. So look at your week and see what that looks like for you. And then be sure to look at it to see, does it support your goals? So your ideal week, does it bring you closer to achieving your goals? So you see how those two things can kind of touch together. Now on to number 3. So number 3 of the top 5 are the 5 things to do to finish the year strong. Number 3 is commit to consistency. Starting new routines now, opposed to the new year, will set you up for success. So kind of what I was saying earlier about the goals and not waiting till New Year's to set new resolutions or new goals. Starting now instead of then to create new routines or new habits will allow you faster, better success. Because did you know that 88% of people who set New Year's resolutions fail within the first 2 weeks? Some reasons include we were thinking too big, we're not considering the why behind them, and the fact that we may not be ready to change. But making some small but important changes now, so starting now, opposed to waiting into the new year to make drastic changes, is huge. It can allow you to create something without as much pressure. Ways to do this. So habits and expectations. What are some good habits you have? Start there. Do a bit of a look at yourself and say, what are some of these habits? And then what is a habit you could start today, which would help you achieve your goals? Is it realistic? And just pick one. Often the challenge we have when we do the New Year's resolution, as an example. You know, I'm sure more than once in my life, I have done the New Year's resolution of, I am going to go to the gym. So New Year's resolution, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go 5 days a week. I'm going to go in the morning. Is that realistic? No, not at all. 5 days a week? Not a chance. I can barely get in 10,000 steps a day today. What makes me think I can get up and go to the gym 5 days a week? So not realistic. And with that, of course, and I'm probably going to stack a few things on it, like, and I'm going to eat healthy, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. So just really not setting myself up for any success. But if I can pick a small, realistic goal today and start it now, over the next 30 days, I will have achieved something small and have something to show for it and feel really great about. And then another piece that goes with that is then, of course, challenge yourself to follow through. Challenge yourself to actually commit so that you aren't that statistic of the first 2 weeks they quit. And if you make it achievable, 30 days is totally possible. You can do anything for 30 days if you set your mind to it. If you need help with that, find an accountability partner. Someone who you can say, I've committed to do this. So maybe your goal or your habit you want to create is, I'm going to read 5 minutes a day or 1 chapter a day, whatever that is, for 4 days a week. 5 minutes a day, 4 days a week, and you're going to set this, say this to someone, whoever you have as your accountability partner. It could be your best friend, it could be your spouse, it could be in our Tough Collaborative, it could be another member, it could be your business partner, it could be really anybody who you can connect with, who will call you out if you do not do what you said you did. 2 things will happen here, and I believe this quite strongly. If you say something out loud, as in, I will read 5 minutes a day, 4 days a week, and you say that out loud to someone, you automatically will already be more accountable. You are already more likely to do it. If you say that to someone you know and trust will and wants you to succeed, you're even more likely to make that happen. Another thing I could challenge you to do, if you're a journaler like I am, journal about it. Writing that down. So not only saying it out loud, but the act of writing down your commitment also creates and connects with you to help you create whatever it is, that new habit that you want to do. And then something else that I do that I love, because I do love to check off a box, I create an accountability tracker. It literally is just a piece of paper. I think I've showed it to you guys before. A piece of paper that has the things on it that I want to do. For me, I use it for my morning routine, but if I were to create a new habit, I would just add that to my routine. And I have the days of the month, so I have it for a month period, starting on the 1st, going to the last day of the month. And there's a little box for each day. And just the act of being able to put an X in the box when I've done it is incredibly satisfying. And when I can look back on the month, I can see my successes and I can also see my failures too. But both of those have value to me. So yes, just create some consistency by trying to create a new habit that will help you achieve your goal. Something that will get you going towards your goal. Number 4 in the 5 things to finish the year strong is reduce clutter and get organized. There is something incredibly empowering about taking a few moments and cleaning off your workspace or tidying up an area that causes you stress. And you may not even realize it causes you stress, but once you've cleaned it, you realized how much stress it was causing you. But there's something really great about that. So physically and digitally, physical and digital clutter can overwhelm and distract from productivity. Take some time to declutter and get organized. Will set you up for success, get you in the right mindset, and ensure you do not get overwhelmed or distracted by the things around you. So to declutter physically, I suggest you do your work environment. So for me, I have my office and my desk, and I would declutter it, throw out the garbage, get rid of the extra papers, remove the things that don't need to be there. Other areas would be your car. For me, that's a truck. It's surprising how cluttered a vehicle can get and how many things you can collect. So just take a little bit of time to do that. Areas in your home also. We all know there's areas in each of our homes, I'm certain of it, that gets cluttered because it's the drop station. Take some time to clean that up and just declutter it. Another big one is your purse or your handbag or your laptop bag. I'm not sure I really need to say much more here, but declutter it, get rid of the stuff, all of the receipts in the bottom and that's a whole, I'm sure you could go down a TikTok rabbit hole with decluttering your purse, but I'll leave it with you. Declutter digitally. This is one I think many people do not do. I am probably quite guilty of this as well, and can be quite empowering actually. So when we had this conversation, it was a few weeks back, and since then I've actually done some of these things, and I'll kind of talk into that a little bit here. So declutter digitally. So your email, so your inbox. And this is one that I did. And it was really interesting because I had about 250 emails in my inbox, not unread. Everything had been read, but just sitting there, not dealt with. And I went through about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I got it literally to 0. There was nothing in there. And for about 3 hours, I just kept going back and checking it going, I feel like I don't have anything to do. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Which then made me realize that having all of that email in there and not cleaning it up, and let me backtrack here a little bit. It really only took me about 45 minutes to an hour to clean it up. It's not like it was hard to clean up. There was just things in there that literally needed to be deleted or filed. So it's not like it was actual work waiting for me. It was just clutter. And I had fast forward now to 2 weeks ago when I cleaned it up so it was empty, and I realized that by having my inbox have things in it that had not simply been deleted, I was wasting so much time in my inbox doing I don't actually know what, because now when my inbox was empty, I would go there and there would be nothing for me to stare at or flip through or whatever it was that I was doing. So I just freed up so much time for me having an inbox that was up to date, because now it's literally deal with it and go and staying on top of it. And I am quite happy to say that by the end of the day, each day, my inbox is still empty. Everything is dealt with. And it's actually been a really neat exercise. So I highly encourage you, as a challenge for me to you, is to get your inbox to 0. I'm not saying you delete everything. You will file it, because there's emails that we have that we may need to access as an information purposes in 6 months or, whatever it is. You can keep them in a file within your inbox, but your inbox is to 0. So I highly encourage it. A couple other things for digital declutter. Your desktop, please get rid of all the icons. Only have the ones there that you need. And then apps on your phone, same thing. Things that you do not use, get rid of them. Get rid of that clutter. It's just taking up energy for you. So that's the declutter. Now the organize. Organize physically. So do you need file folders? Do you need to put things in a certain organized way? Do you need office organizers for your vehicle? Do you need car boxes? Create a bit of a system so that you can keep it decluttered. And then organize digitally. So organize your file system into your email. So for me, I have file folders within my email to be able to keep track of things, like emails that are for family that I need to keep. I have a family folder. I have a real estate folder. I have a tough collaborative folder. I have an SCC folder because I'm on my school community council. I have an AAC folder, which is for our agent. Now I'm going to forget what it's called. Anyway, so it's the agent organization within EXP for us to be the voice for the agents. So I have all these folders, and that's where the emails go. So digitally organize. Create folders with and naming conventions for your files for your clients. And create shortcuts for frequently accessed folders or apps so that you're not spending too much time searching. Okay, last one on the 5 things to do to finish the year strong. Enhance your skills. When you enhance your skills, you grow your confidence, but also your competence. To do this, you need to identify your skill gaps. What skills, if you had them, would improve your life or your business? And if you don't know, obviously you need to reflect on these things. So I'm not expecting you to blurt out the answer right now while you're driving your car or doing your dishes. Reflect on it. And if you still can't come up with it, ask your friends, family, or clients for feedback, as they may see areas that you can improve that you may not be aware of. Constructive criticism. Just say, I'm thinking about taking a course. I want to find a course, or I want to do find a mentor, or whatever the opportunity is that you're going to do, and say, if you were me, what would that be? If you could suggest that to me, what do you think I could improve on the most? And then take that and find the opportunity. Find a mentor. Sign up for and start the course. Join a mastermind. Read books. Listen to podcasts. Just simply get curious. Because when you enhance your skills, you grow your confidence, but also your competence. Many of you know that I am very much about self-improvement. I love to read books. I love to listen to podcasts. I often sign up for webinars and courses to improve some sort of skill. And I'm constantly wanting to improve things. Do I know all of the areas that I need improvement? No, that takes that self-reflection, just like I said. But by being curious about what I can do with my mind and my business and my life allows me to be open to the opportunities, and they just seem to come. So those were the 5 things to finish 2024 strong. You're going to do a goal audit. You're going to revisit your ideal week. Commit to consistency and create a new habit. Reduce clutter and get organized. And then enhance your skills. So that concludes our episode this week. Thank you so much for being here. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe or hit that follow button, as I'd love it if you came back week to week. If you're looking for more information on the membership, check out tuffinstitute.com. So that's TUFinstitute.com. Or if you want more information on me and my real estate business, check out Rhonda Lavoie at exprealty.com, or simply Google search my name, Rhonda Lavoie. Looking for my socials, I'm on Insta at Rhonda Lavoie _TUF. Or on Facebook, you can find me at Rhonda Lavoie The Urban Farmhouse and eXp Realty. Reach out anytime. I'd love to hear from you. I really hope you have a marvelous day, and I can't wait to bring you an episode again next week.